Day Dawns ARKS! Welcome everyone to your weekly Phantasy Star Online 2 podcast recorded live on May 30th, 2020. I am one of your hosts, PrinceBrightstar, and with me is Zance. Go ahead and say hello.
Bonjour!
What language is that today?
That's French, obviously.
Yep. Alright, so...
I was going to say hello in different languages, so... I'm going to keep to that.
Indeed. Well, we got quite a show today, especially with everything that's happened over the past week here, with the launch. Well, really half week, I guess, with the launch of the PC version, Phantasy Star Online 2 in North America, and we're thinking today we're actually just going to skip right through our gaming week, since really that's all that we've been focused on this week to begin with, anyway.
Yeah, and there's a lot to talk about today. Oh boy.
Yep. So, Zance, why don't you start us off here? How was your installation process with the game?
Honestly, painless. Whenever the pre-installation launched, I stayed up until 2 o'clock in the morning to do that. So I was installing it. Nothing happened. Launched it through the launcher and just started installing it again. So again, I had no problems. So when I woke up in the morning, I was able to launch the game just fine and play it just fine, minus a few other issues we'll talk about.
Yep. And so, so at least some people, it seems, have been able to get it installed and not actually have any issues getting into the game then.
Yep. Can't say the same for my friend, though. Oh. So he was playing it just fine, and as he was going through the prologue, his computer crashed. And then when he tried to launch the game again, it said that the installation was corrupted.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one of the big things that people need to remember is that they do need to at least be up to date on their Windows update and everything like that.
That is true.
I've got myself on 1909 right now for my version of Windows 10. But potentially that may not be an issue for too much longer either, which is another thing we'll be getting into later in the show here.
Mm-hmm. And whenever I just update Windows when it's available.
Gotcha.
So yeah, not being on the latest Windows is not that big of a problem for me.
As for myself, I went through the installation process. I was actually able to grab some of the files as they were coming down to take a look at them and see what I could find in terms of the audio. Yep, which is typical for me. If you know who I am, then you know that's a standard thing for me at this point. Sega actually made things extremely easy for me to identify the new files because they're all in a new PSO2 NA folder, basically. And so basically I just had to grab all the files from there, run my standard CPAC and HCA decompression methods, and boom, there they were. But once I got into the game, actually, I then realized I was getting a no-user issue whereby basically I couldn't do anything except exit the game. Hitting the tab button on my keyboard would not let me change my username. And what ended up being the cause of that was I did not have installed on my system an Xbox identity program. And so I had to download that from the Microsoft Store, and as soon as I did
have any of like the base installation thing, because I didn't. This PC is brand new, and I think most of those were just pre-installed whenever I installed my Windows 10.
Yep.
So I had the console companion, I had the Xbox thing. So like in the game, like in any game, if I press like I believe it's Windows G, yeah, it brings up like the Xbox social thing.
Yep. I don't have that. Whenever I do a new installation of Windows 10, I blow away a lot of stuff, including Cortana, because I don't need that privacy crap on privacy looking into my stuff. So, plus it just wastes cycles at that point on my CPU, and I'd rather be putting that towards games.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I did have to at least get that re-downloaded, and once I did that, then I was able to get myself logged in, and everything was working until I rebooted my computer, at which point I needed to basically, I kind of ran into a similar issue, except I had the forethought to make a backup of my game folder onto another drive, and so I just copied the files over and everything started working again. So, and unfortunately, at least for the moment, people may need to actually expect around a 180 gig installation, that being 2 copies of the game, just so that in case something goes wrong, they can just copy everything back into the folder. But yeah, that's once I was in, everything was working until the ship filled up.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that happened on the first day. I wouldn't know because my internet died that day.
Sorry to hear about that.
I was gonna be playing all day, but then my internet died. I had to get a cable outside replaced.
Yep.
So 24 hours I couldn't play this game.
Yeah, that sucks that happened.
Yeah.
While all that was going on the servers themselves, so with the Xbox version, we got 60 blocks for each of the ships.
Mm-hmm.
We're now up to 138 blocks. And that
Mine
had been
is block 61 for some reason. Actually, no, now 61's there. Huh. It was gone yesterday. It's there now. Weird.
that might tie into something else, but yeah, we had gone from like 60 up to 90, and then up to 108, and now it's like 138 or something like that.
It's 138, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they've been adding more and more blocks when people have been calling for ship number 4 and 6 to open up, ships 4, 5, and 6 rather, so that PC players could have a fresh start. But given how Azure works, and the fact that they're able to add blocks dynamically without having to do a maintenance on the servers, there's no reason for them to do that. And if anything, that actually makes it easier on them, because once it comes time for, like, if we ever have a cross-ship tournament or something like that, they're not going to have to worry that much about, how are they going to fit a 6th Rappy onto that race platform. I don't know if you remember that from like 4 or 5 years ago when they were doing the cross-ship tournament.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I only started really playing this game on JP back in 2018.
Yeah, it was basically an event that lasted several hours, actually more or less through most of the day. And as it progressed, the more points that your ship got, your Rappy would progress further along the racetrack.
Sounds interesting.
Yep. But now at least with how things are right now, we're just gonna have ships 1 to 3.
Yep.
So
Which
I know a lot.
I think less ships is better because that just makes the economies within those 3 ships just a lot stronger.
Yep, I completely agree. Although a lot of people are ending up on ship number 2, like they said they were.
Yep. Almost by double the amount compared to ship 1.
Yep. And then ship 3 is just
like, I've seen a few of the people who normally play Final Fantasy 14. They're on ship 2. The 2 biggest one being Golden Tot and Mr. Happy.
Yep. Yeah, even Sly the Fox is on there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted ship 1 because I knew all the JP players were going ship 2, so I kind of wanted to avoid that.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm a veteran, Alpha 2 veteran from JP, and I didn't want to be with all of them because I knew how much they were going to wreck the market and everything.
Yep. And so far, it's not completely bad on ship 2, but it's better on ship 1.
Definitely. But yeah, aside from the installation issues, there have also been a myriad of other issues this week. For example, yeah, we've been having issues with the forum all the week. It's like you can never tell when the forum is going to work or not. So
yeah, the 503 error happened because so many people were flooding the forum with Windows issues.
Yep.
Which, let's talk about some of those issues, shall we?
Yep. I mean, aside from that, I've also noticed myself getting signed out from the forums as well whenever this happens. But yeah, moving on to the issues themselves. So we have here first the Windows 10 issue report, hitching and stuttering. Greetings, ARKS. We have received reports that the Windows 10 version of Phantasy Star Online 2 may be running sluggishly in some areas of the game, such as the ARK ship lobby. Our development team is working hard on investigating this issue, with plans to implement a countermeasure on Wednesday, June 10th, during our scheduled server maintenance. We deeply apologize for this inconvenience and the negative experience it has caused. Okay. The big deal with this here is everybody that knows about the fix knows that the issue is traced back to the launcher at this point.
Not the Windows Store. The Windows Store has its own issues, but it is the launcher itself that Sega is using for PSO2 that is causing this lobby lag issue, specifically with GameGuard.
Well, no, it's not GameGuard, because keep in mind, GameGuard still loads up even using the other method.
Yes, that is true.
So it's some sort of leak that's happening in the launcher itself that's causing the issue. And the fact of the matter is, this has always been the case. You probably weren't back there back in the day, but there used to be something on the Japanese side known as the God Client, which basically made everything run great. And basically, it was sort of it was random if you got it or not whenever you launched the game.
Oh.
But there were players that had to launch the game like 4 or 5 times before they didn't encounter the issue anymore. And then eventually the tweaker came out, and then it wasn't an issue anymore.
Yeah, because the tweaker completely avoids using the launcher, which, by the way, the tweaker now supports NA, so use that.
Yep.
We'll talk about it more after we talk about all the issues going on. But
yep.
Just use the tweaker at this point.
Yeah.
You still have to install the game through the Microsoft Store, but after that, you can completely ignore the official launcher because it's garbage.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's always been that bad. So so everybody that's experiencing these issues now, you're dealing with the same thing the Japanese players have been dealing with for years.
Hell, there were Japanese players who used the tweaker because it's just better.
Exactly. But aside from this issue, there are also some other issues that are going on. Greetings, ARKS. In this article, we will address the issues some users have experienced when trying to download or install Phantasy Star Online 2 on Windows 10. And in this, they go into several different codes here. So, like code 0x80072EE2 and 0x800704C6. So in this particular case, this is related to making sure that the Microsoft Store application is up to date. And then they basically can only recommend that you try downloading it again at a later time. And then if it's still persisting after that, then you basically have to reach out to Microsoft at that point to let them know what's going on, because this feedback thing here just goes over to the Microsoft Store. So yeah, they go into how to fill the thing out, but yeah, it's basically you need to submit a form to get your issue fixed, which is never a good thing to have happen when you're trying to launch a game.
Yeah, because people want to get in the game, so they want their issues solved now.
Yep. And then there's an error message about the with a file system error. For that one, they say you need to sign in the upper right corner, and then you need to add a Microsoft account to your computer itself. So I think that has to do with the fact that you're limited to a certain number of devices on your Microsoft account. And
basically,
so
you need to be on your Microsoft account in order to use the store.
Yep.
I don't think you're limited. You just need to be signed in.
Correct. Then there's an error message, last error 1813. For that one, you need to enable administrator privileges and try starting the game again.
I always run every game with admin stuff anyway.
Errors number 140 and number 106. You need to first try rebooting your PC, then try updating the graphics driver, make sure your security software firewall is not blocking Phantasy Star Online 2. That used to be a thing back in the day with the VAST, actually. So you had to whitelist the thing.
Huh, weird.
And then try uninstalling the software with administrator privileges. And then after that, notify your internet service provider that you cannot download the file.
Okay.
So that, to me, that then sounds like they think that it might be that for some reason the ISP doesn't have a route over to the game servers to download the files. Now, that does have some relevance to Phantasy Star Online 2, because back in the day, summer of 2013, I think it was, there was a distributed denial of service attack that happened, which blocked a large majority of the United States players from even playing the game, especially after how Sega changed its servers, so that way you needed to have some sort of official route through, I think it was NTT, to even play the game. AT&T and Comcast users weren't able to do it. Verizon customers were able to, and the only way around that was to set yourself up with a VPN that was located in Japan.
Huh. Odd.
Which thankfully Amazon AWS was a great way to do that back in the day, as long as you knew how PuTTY works and things like that.
Mm-hmm. But something else it's not mentioning is a corruption of the files whenever you install the game on a second hard drive. That was another issue that was going on, and that's actually what happened to my friend. He installed the game on a second hard drive. When his computer reset, the files were corrupted.
Yep. And unfortunately, not everybody has the ability to install the game on their C drive.
Exactly. I'm lucky that, because this is a new computer, I don't have my C drive completely filled up. But I'm already half full of a 1 terabyte, so it's going to fill up eventually because of how many games I play.
Yep, and some other people may only have like a 120 or 250 gigabyte SSD for their C drive, making it virtually impossible for them to do it.
Especially for a game that is 69 gigabytes.
Yep. So yeah, this was not a good situation to have happen, and unfortunately, some of this stuff is partly on Microsoft to solve, some of it's partly on Sega to solve. And if Sega hasn't fixed the issue with the launcher for 8 years now, then I don't see there being any reason that they're going to be fixing it anytime soon, unfortunately.
Yep. So at this point, just use the tweaker.
Yep, which is definitely some of the bigger news that came out of all this, the fact that the tweaker actually is compatible. So the tweaker is, if any of you are unfamiliar with it, what the tweaker is it's basically a program that on the Japanese side allowed you to fix a number of different issues. It helped you to fix GameGuard issues whenever they came up, aside from the occasional rare issue where you're forced to reboot the PC because GameGuard still thinks it's still open. It can fix issues with file permissions, it can fix a whole bunch of other things, plus it can also serve as a more direct download for the game patches, even more direct than the launcher itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because what it does is it opens up 5 different connections at the same time to just download everything faster.
And not only that, English translation.
Yep.
It took a while before you got automatic patch to the English translation, but that's what the tweaker now has for on the JP side.
Yep. As I said last week, it used to be you have to manually replace 3 different sets of files in the folder to get the translation working, and
you had to do that every single time the game updated.
Yep. And the item patch didn't even work without the tweaker.
Yep.
So yeah, that's some of the bigger news in terms of the tweaker. The fact that it's now compatible with the North American version and is now able to launch the game is really, really nice, which means there's now a bypass rather than doing what I was having to do, which was basically rename PSO2.exe to PSO2 Launcher.exe.
Yeah, because people had to do that so that they could skip the lobby lag. Dear God, the lobby lag.
Yep.
So that is something that they did mention about with lobby lag, and we talked about it a little bit there. But yeah, because of the launcher being god awful, it caused a lot of lag in the lobby. You would just be walking around, and the frame rate would drop in the single digits.
Yep.
Even if your computer is more than enough to handle the game at 60 FPS at the highest graphics, like mine is.
Yep. And it really comes down to it rate limiting how much data could come into the game all at the same time. So yeah.
And it just made the experience just so bad because, hey, sometimes I like hanging out in the lobby and just talking to people and having my character dance. I can't reliably do that if the game keeps on lagging the entire time because that also affects my typing.
Exactly. Yep, I noticed the same thing on the Xbox version. It would just skip what I was typing sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the Xbox doesn't have a fix for that. So basically, my Xbox is now on the shelf gathering dust. Because I don't have anything else I want to play on that. The only other game I was ever interested in on that system was Scalebound, and that thing got canceled.
Yeah. And for me, I still have Game Pass, so I have a few games I can play off of that. Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, so hey, I can play that.
Yeah, I might actually check out Nier Automata. I never played that one, but I've heard good things about it.
I have that on Steam, and I really need to finish playing that. I always jokingly call it Nier a tomato. It works.
It works, but it's like I don't know. I feel like at least with me that joke falls flat, but I'm sure other viewers might appreciate it.
Whatever. But yeah, Xbox platform for me is dead. So I'll always be playing this on my PC anyway. But yeah, that lobby lag was annoying the hell out of me. Because I didn't experience as bad as lag on Xbox. That's the thing. I wasn't experiencing the lag that badly. Yes, it was there whenever there was so many models on, and because it's not as convenient to change graphics around on Xbox than it is on PC, yeah, it was not the best experience. So that's why I was hoping with PC it would fix all the lag issues, which I hate that I had to do a workaround.
Really, this shouldn't have been necessary in the first place, but this is unfortunately what we've kind of come to expect from Sega over the years.
Mm-hmm. What do you think the joke of this game being dead, or Gamma's dead? It was a joke that I believe spawned during episode 5. It's like there's a lot of jokes about Sega with handling this game.
Yeah, I mean, definitely with the rebalance that they had to do back in episode 5. Yeah, it was definitely not a good time.
Yeah, that's what spawned the Gamma's dead meme.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, this still isn't the worst thing that's ever happened with this game, though.
Mm-hmm.
Let's kind of keep this in perspective. Even though how bad this launch has been, this is not the worst it's been. The worst thing that ever happened was when Sega pushed out a patch that deleted files elsewhere on other people's computers.
Yeah, that was not good. I heard about when that happened.
Yeah. So, at least it's better than that? I don't know.
But in terms of like game launches, I've seen worse game launches.
I would say probably one of the worst ever. and as much as I hate to say this, was Sega yet again, and it was the launch of Phantasy Star Universe in Japan. They had to take the servers down for a week.
Yeah. Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, and it was because Universe 1 had filled up, and they had to create Universe 2 so that people could spill into there. Most people still stayed on Universe 1, and eventually once the player base had kind of shrunk down a bit, then they just combined the universes together.
But then, for me personally, the worst launch that I've experienced was the launch of Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. The lines in front of Raubon. Oh god.
Oh yeah, Raubon Extreme, and what was it?
Pippin Extreme. It was Raubon and Pippin Extreme.
It was Raubon's wall and Pippin's fence.
Yep. Basically, server issues happened where the main server that handled instances was down. So that caused any quest that involved going into an instance fight just not be able to happen.
Yep. Yeah, I couldn't get in for at least a few hours with that. And keep in mind, I'm on Balmung, which back in the day was the #1 biggest server. I think it might still be, but I'm not sure.
And I was on Siren, and I'm on Siren. I'm still on Siren, which is not that populated, but the lines was still there. There were lines in every single server.
And the fact that everybody was just able to push in all within a period of about 10 minutes, and then the thing crashed again, tells me that they just rebooted the server just to get some people through.
Yeah, it was a disaster, and I'm glad that when Shadowbringers launched it, that issue did not happen.
And I think it's partly because at that point they had opened up the world visit system.
Yep. So they were anticipating that.
Yep. Plus, whenever they do that, they also open up extra instances of areas and such.
Which they didn't do during Stormblood.
Well, actually, they did do that in Stormblood.
They did?
For each of the different areas, it was like Area 1, Area 2.
I know they eventually did do that, but I don't remember that at launch.
I'm pretty sure it was there. I can go back to my series on YouTube and verify that though. Anyway, so obviously with the tweaker now in place, able to launch the game and do pretty much everything except install the game for you, which once you install it once, I think it probably can also do that for you as well if it happens to get deleted. We'll still have to see. But the tweaker is going to make things a whole lot better, and I just hope that Microsoft or Sega doesn't somehow block that thing, because then at that point they're just harming the community.
Yeah, and I believe that they're going to be working on getting it to where you can just install the game through the tweaker.
Yep, that's the hope.
Yep. So, but I've also noticed a lot of the reviews on the Microsoft Store, a good amount of them got deleted.
Yep, and that's
like,
that.
It was I remember seeing the number of reviews at around 2,000. Now it's down to 847.
Yeah, and that's. We really don't know how they're determining what needs to be deleted versus what isn't being deleted. It's possible they may be checking for the same IP address, making several submissions to the thing. But we really don't know how they're actually checking for that. But
and probably people flagging it as spam or profanity or offensive content or something. Because I know some people were flagging them for just being profane. Because those kind of reviews don't help.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say let's give it a few weeks once all these issues are over, and let's then see where it's rated. But with that, let's go ahead and now that we've kind of covered all of what's been happening with the launch itself. The launch itself also had several new content updates to the game, so let's go ahead and look at some of those, starting off with a campaign for daily logins.
More escape dolls, yay!
Yes. So between May 27th and June 3rd, if you log in, each day you can get a half-scape doll. These are items that let you revive in the event that you happen to go down during a mission.
I have them with me just for doing the new Extreme Quest, and that is it.
Yep, that's pretty much the only time that they're really necessary at this point, unless you know like a raid boss is about to go down and you don't think somebody's going to get you up before then.
Yeah, that is true as well.
Let's see. So aside from that, we also have another campaign here to join an alliance. So, with this one here, if you join an alliance with at least 4 members between the end of maintenance on May 27th and the beginning of maintenance on June 9th, you'll get a 20 Star Gem consumable ticket. If you join an alliance with 12 members, you're going to get a 2-tailed scarf. If you join an alliance that has earned at least 5,000 alliance points, you get another 20 Star Gem ticket. And if you join an alliance that has earned at least 10,000 alliance points, then you get an emote 255 Rappies.
By the way, join our alliance. We're getting close to 100 members, but we're going to be getting rid of all the people who have been AFK for a really long time. So, yeah, join ours.
Yep,
we already are able to get all 4 of these with how our alliance is. So, yeah.
Yep, it's time for war on ship number 1.
Yes. And you could actually log on to ship 1 instead, because ship 2 went down.
Yep. Yeah, that's
actually, Can we briefly talk about that?
Yeah, let's kind of bring that back.
Because that goes back into some more. Oh yeah, ship 2 downtime. I forgot you had that as a topic. But yeah, let's just talk about that now. So okay, so this is a tweet that was released by the PSO2 Twitter. Attention ARKS, we are aware of the users that are unable to log into ship 2 due to errors 604 and 614. We are currently investigating this issue and working on a solution. And then an hour later, they released an update. We can confirm that access to ship 2 has been restored and players are now able to log in. We appreciate your patience and apologize for any inconvenience this issue may have caused you. So yeah, ship 2 went down and I believe this is the case. It's because so many people from either from the JP side or from yeah, thank you for bringing up the tweet there. So I believe it's like the JP players or people who knew about the game and knew about most of the NA players going on to ship 2. They decided, okay, let's go on to ship 2 for the North American server. Why not? Last night, I saw ship 1 it got to normal and crowded. Ship 3 got to crowded as well. Ship 2 full.
So we had actually reached that status on all 3 ships the prior night, but what was happening with ship number 2 was they were down to like only 9 blocks on their ship.
Yeah, like 9 blocks that were actually available for free players, not the premium people, the free players.
Yep.
Because even then, premium slots were already filling up really quickly as well.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's not good that happened. And the other thing that I heard that happened during all this is the rainy day urgent quest continued on past the 30-minute deadline for that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So all those players that remained on the ship were able to get extended time at that, potentially already getting one of their first 12-star units, which I've seen forum posts calling for a rollback of the ship. But I don't think that ever happened, and it's too late to do it now that the ship is back to normal.
True. Or maybe they did a stealth rollback, I don't know. I would have heard more information if that happened.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen blocks disappear before on the Japanese side, but
Like I just mentioned how last night I didn't see ships block 61, but now it's there. So
yeah. And the fact that that blocks can just be added and removed as needed it's... I guess the best way to say it is, it's a testament to how stable Azure is, but if something goes wrong with a block, it is going to disappear. And we still don't know what the full story on this thing was. Did somebody... is it possible that something happened on the server side, or is it possible that somebody figured out how to actually crash the block?
I don't know. Or just crash the entire ship in general, because that's what happened. Like, ship 2 just went down.
Pretty darn close to it, yeah, with only 9 blocks in there.
Hey, that also goes to show a lot of people are playing this game. And people were right. PC is a hell of a lot more popular than Xbox.
Yep. And I remember when Sega posted that chart showing people were going to be playing more Xbox than PC, I was like, what? That's not right. And that's because there was a bias built into that in the first place, because only people playing on Xbox were surveyed.
Yep. And I mentioned, I actually answered on that survey I was going to play on both Xbox and PC. At this point, nah. I'm just going to play on PC. Like, maybe I'll play on Xbox. Like, I don't know. If I have my computer set up somewhere other than my bedroom, then I guess I could just log on to my Xbox then and run some time attacks or something. I don't know. But, again, I don't like playing on controller. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Like controller over keyboard, which, funny enough, Final Fantasy 14 is one of those games I prefer playing on controller. I am weird.
Yep, that is for certain here. So, let's go ahead and move into the next thing that we have here. There was a... Let's take it?
Back to the site updates.
Yep. There was a reset all skill tree pass distribution that happened with this update here. So, beginning from when the maintenance ended, 5/27 to June 26th, you have to go over to the Visiphone and pick up a skill tree pass, reset all skill tree pass, and you get one for each character that you have. So, if you're at the max, go ahead.
Yep, and yeah, if you have 3 characters for free, then you get 3 passes. I have 5 characters, so I got 5 passes.
Yep.
Go me.
Yep. So this gives you a lot of ability to experiment, and typically this happens whenever Sega makes a major change to how classes play, or they introduce new abilities. So whenever we start,
in cases, it's just more new content's coming out, so give people time to adjust their skill trees if they messed up on something.
Yep.
So there isn't any big balancing that's happening currently on NA like there is on JP, but I can tell, like, I'm going to call it right now, as soon as they on the patch where they raise the level cap, they're going to be giving out skill reset passes as well.
I would agree with that. The level 80 increases definitely going to include that.
And it's going to be coming pretty soon, because we're going to start getting into episode 4 content, which is when the level cap raised to 80.
Yep. So yeah, if you haven't created your 3 free characters yet, go ahead and create them. Even if you don't intend to play the other 2, go ahead and grab all 3 of them, just so you could have access to 3 resets for your main character.
But just remember that whenever you buy a character after that, you're buying the character, not the slot. So if you delete that character, then you need to buy another character.
Yeah, it's better to go up to the maximum number of characters first, and then start to delete characters.
Yeah.
Alright, so, aside from that, we also had a campaign to clear story quests, so Zance, why don't you go ahead and take this one?
Especially since I need to do story quests myself. Okay. So, ready for some downtime after a hard day of expeditions, urgent quests, client orders, or anything else? Then we'd like to invite you to check out the story quest available from the quest counter, as ARKS will be providing additional bonus rewards for passing some story quests during this campaign. After all, what's better than a story? Why a story with a reward, of course? Which you also get a reward for doing some of the story missions on the harder difficulty. It's hardcore over casual, I believe, right?
Yep, Star Gems for completing battle missions.
Exactly. And you need to do them on hardcore and get an S rank on them. Anyway, continuing on. If you'd like to see more information, okay. So, complete these. So it's specifically these 4 that you get rewards for. So if you complete Anomaly on Nefarious in episode 1, so it's chapter 4. Do Final Goodbye, which is isn't that the last story quest on episode 1?
It is.
It's only up to 10. Yeah, chapter 10. That's the last mission. Okay, so just finish episode 1 and then finish episode 2, I guess. So you do those, and then you get a 20 SG ticket, Vampiric Wing Cape Black accessory, 20 SG ticket, and Ready Spellbook emote, which you will get after the maintenance on the 23rd. Which
Actually,
I believe
think
if
they're
you
already
already finished these before this campaign happened, you will still get it. Yeah, it says right there, clear or have already cleared. So yeah, you've already cleared all of them, so you'll be getting them.
Actually, I think I've already gotten the items, so I think they give them out as soon as you clear it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you'll get these emotes if you do it. Just, screen some time to get rewarded for it. Just make sure you do it before the beginning of maintenance on June 23rd when the campaign ends. So yeah, I kind of need to do this. So, oh yeah, also scroll down so you can see the Ready Spellbook emote.
Yep.
All right, there it is. Look at it. It's great. I like it. I like the male one just has the book up in the air and is praising it.
And then the female one looks like she's using attack there.
Yep. Praise the spellbook, the holy spellbook.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, I've been neglecting on doing the story quests personally because I'm lazy. I have other MMOs to play, man. Come on. I mostly just get on this game now to just do random missions, level up my Tector, and do the urgents.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, I've been playing this game since Alpha 2. If anything, this time with North America has been a really nice chance to kind of reset and take advantage of all the things I've learned since the original Japanese launch. And I'm just going to continue to do that. And that includes some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about real soon here as we continue to go through these here. But as
got a new lobby. Yay.
Yep. So late May into June provides great weather for many places around the world and in the world of PSO2. This makes it the ideal time to hold ceremonies such as weddings, and though this time is also peppered with bouts of rain, the effect of rain is honored in these ceremonies that also celebrate new growth. To acknowledge this time of new beginnings, operatives will observe changes on their ships and the planets they visit. Seasonal client orders, new urgent quests, changing decor in certain areas of the ship, and more can be expected with the start of the wedding event.
So these kind of lobby events happen all the time on JP, so much so that you rarely ever hear the normal lobby music because there's always an event that happens right after the end of another event, so it just keeps on happening over and over again.
Exactly.
I remember at one point, it didn't happen on JP, so I heard the normal lobby music on JP, and it freaked me out.
And this is something that's standard for the series at this point. Phantasy Star Online, Phantasy Star Universe, they did this then as well, so this isn't anything unusual.
Like the Valentine's Day theme, Halloween theme. God, I love the Halloween themes music.
Which one, PSO or PSU?
PSO.
Gotcha.
Like with the... Bam, 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 bam. I'm trying to sing it. It's weird, but I love that theme.
Yeah, I'm more partial to the PSU theme actually. It's a little bit more bouncy, but still kind of got that like spooky theme to it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's a more fun spooky.
Yeah, it's called Weird Night.
Yeah, the PSO one.
Yeah.
So this is going to be around until June 9th. And so we also have the new face on the block, who is Sia.
Also,
And
by the way, can we get the Sonic lobby that's going to be coming to JP as well? That would also be nice because I like the Sonic lobby.
That might be happening because I know at least somewhere in June that's where Sonic's birthday is, I think.
Yep. So yeah, get the Sonic lobby in both JP and NA. Perfect.
Yep.
Anyway,
So Sia, or she as she's been called on the Japanese server, she is the one that gives out the seasonal client orders. And in this particular case, she has a reward of the Hyper Night Parade Jet Boot Weapon Camo.
Roller skates.
Pretty much, yeah.
You get to kick enemies with roller skates.
And then we also have a bingo event. Yep, that is also going from May 27th to June 23rd. Get ready for Bingo Arcs. Just sign up for the Gone with the Wind and Rain urgent quest and begin eradicating fall spawn and incapacitating natives. As you go, you'll be informed when you've completed a task, and the bingo square number will be briefly displayed at the bottom of your screen. Your ARKS bingo card can be accessed through the main menu, then selecting current events and ARKS bingo card. To view what tasks you have yet to complete, click on the name of the ARKS bingo card, in this case, Wind and Rain Bingo, and select View Details. The tab that displays by default is named View Bingo Card, and this is where you can view the remaining squares to be completed. The other tab named Bingo Completion Reward, and this is where you view what rewards you have yet to receive. Finally, the number of times you get a bingo, all squares completed in a straight line, may or may not include the freebie space in the middle. They may qualify you for one of the rewards listed below. So, we've got the Rethel Titolia, or Titola, Partisan Weapon Camo, a colorless Flash Knuckle, Rainy Day Rappy Talus, Frog Rappy Mag Device, Rain Yan Mag Device, and a Rainy Day Rappy Mag Device. So you can have two of them here.
So these rewards, not like 3 of them you get from the bingo, and the other 3 you get from the client orders, I believe.
I think you're right on that. So it's in. Then again, they had just this one listed up here, the Hyper Night Parade Jet Boots. So
yeah, okay, because 2 of those mag devices didn't show up for me. I only got the Froggy Rappy, so switch to another character, see what those bingos appear as, because it might not be the Froggy Rappy on a second character that I have.
And then here's Rappy's new look. Rappy is going to be debuting a more amphibious look during this event. During this time, normal Rappies will be replaced by Frog Rappy, and will drop rare items that are unique to Froggy Rappy. And
They're
then,
adorable, as always.
Yep. And then we also have a Rainy Urgent Quest. So, this is going to go also until the 23rd. The Forest of Navarius is experiencing an unusual weather pattern, and ARKs are needed to investigate potential sources for the disturbance. Visiting this new version of the forest has a chance to reward new versions of familiar weapons. Get ready to get wet, operatives, because here comes the urgent quest, Gone with the Wind and the Rain. And so this is actually where we're finally getting some of the weapon badge weapons that were distributed in Japan years ago. Pretty much all these version 2 weapons Actually, no. I think all these version 2 weapons are considered to be all-class weapons.
I think so.
And one of the
That
ones
means you can be any class and equip it.
Yep. And this set has one of the most important ones that I would call for, especially if you do not have access to techniques. You want to get the Senju Haku, or rather the Haku Senju version 2. That one is the wand, and what it does is it gives you a built-in Resta.
Oh. That's pretty big.
Yep.
Especially for classes that can't use techniques.
Yep. So now you're going to have the Gun Slash that can use Megaverse, and then you've got a wand that can use Resta, so you can choose whichever of the two that you want to be able to heal with.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. The one I'm still looking for at some point to come out is something that will cast Anti, but we'll see when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
So that is quite the list of updates that we've got here. Let's move on to the next page here. And aside from all that excitement, we've also got new fresh finds.
Yes.
So, taking...
It's keeping with the wedding theme of the lobby, and you can get the wedding dress, the ceremonial tuxedo, and then you also have the bridal outfit set C.
Yep.
Which gives you all this.
Yep. And the defense... And the defense operation Desperation Trigger is the one that's still in the Fresh Find shop. Kind of surprised we didn't get the Rain and Wind one here, because usually they bring that out pretty quickly.
And I prefer just being able to get Luther again. I'd
For
much
his...
rather do Luther.
Yeah. Okay. So, aside from the Fresh Finds, we also have a new schedule for the Urgent Quests and Concerts.
Yes.
So...
And they kind of messed up with the colors.
So...
The colors when it comes to mining-based defense operations Despair and Gone with the Wind and Rain are way too close. Yes, it's a lighter shade on two of those, but they're both a shade of blue, and that confuses people.
Agreed. They made it much clearer down here, where it's now blue and purple instead.
Yeah. Which, no, the purple is the Living Universe concert.
That's true. So then I guess it's more a point that next week we're just not going to have any of the mining-based missions then.
Yep. We're just going to be having Gone with the Wind and Rain, Dark Falls. You're going to have Hatsune Miku and Megurine Luka show up. And then you have Luther and Drawn to Darkness. What's Drawn to Darkness?
That's the Corrupted Mothership one.
Oh, it's that one. Yeah, I like that one.
Which my question now becomes, okay, now that this and Cradle of Darkness are out, when are we getting the triggers reactivated in the Alliance shop?
Yeah, that would be nice. I would like to buy those triggers so we can do AMPAs.
Yep, it was there during the closed beta, and then it got taken away. But now that everything is back in the game officially, we should just be getting those in the Alliance shop now. Or I guess
Same
once
with
this
the
releases
emotes.
next week.
Same with the emotes that they removed from the fun shop. I know they removed emotes from the fun shop because I have one of those emotes that I got during the closed beta test. Specifically, the group gymnastics pose, which is the T-pose. They removed that.
Yeah, that sucks that happened.
Yep. I got it before they did that, so I could have my character's T-pose whenever the hell I want. So, hey, I will show my dominance over every single ARKS operative.
Yep. And then we kind of go into the into each of the urgent quests here. We're just going to come down here. So, Gone with the Wind and Rain. In addition to abnormal weather, the natives of the forest on the planet Navarius are exhibiting abnormal behavior. Current hypotheses state that their divergent actions are due to an elevated level of F factor, but operatives are needed to gather additional data in the effort to reach a conclusion. A large form has also been glimpsed from afar, and its intentions are unknown at this point. If encountered, operatives are to approach the entity with the utmost caution and determine its threat prior to making attempts at neutralization. ARKs are to ensure their gear is water repellent and stand by for deployment and when directed to do so by intercom communication. I'm wondering if they're talking about Mr. Umbra there.
Yeah. And I've noticed a few people try to attack Mr. Umbra when, no, you want to get hit by him.
Correct. When you let him hit you, you get a 100% rare drop boost.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually need to get hit by him. If you're just in the MPA and you don't get hit, you don't get it. And then we have Drawn to Darkness. So, ARK's intelligence has picked up on strong fall spawn readings originating from the corrupted mothership. Either Dark Falls or another powerful entity must be responsible for these readings based on their amplitude. In addition to this centralized spike of activity, the presence of numerous other F-factor signals have been detected. The Council cautions that you proceed with caution as you move through the mothership and eliminate all those hostiles on board.
Yeah, you just basically attack every single corrupted false spawn. And then I believe it's then you fight Angel at the end?
Correct, it's Angel at the end, and it's like, plus this is where people are going to get introduced to emergency code Explosion!
Explosion! Yes. What happened in, I believe it was an Ultimate Quest? It was a different kind of code. It wasn't emergency code. It was, what was it called? Exception, I think?
Exception. You're talking about when you take down Umbla, or not Umbra, Ampla Fundarge, I think, and then another boss or something shows up after.
Yes. So we took down took down a boss, and then it was a changeover code. So took down that boss, and then it was Exception, I believe. If I remember that correctly, because I was shocked by seeing, wait, exception code, what?
Yeah, those are really rare to pop up, that's for certain.
Yeah, because I've never seen that before.
Yep, and then we've got the Falls Luther ones as well here, so definitely a lot of stuff lined up between this week and next week.
And I'm excited for Luther to come up again, because they introduced Extremely Hard.
Yep, and probably anybody that had triggers would have actually been able to pop those with Extremely Hard as well.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, Extremely Hard requires you to be over level 70, and some of the quests, especially the defense quest, where I could not beat them on super hard, Extremely Hard, no problem at all completing them.
And I think it's because the people that are actually going into that actually know what they're doing at this point.
Yep, exactly. It's a JP situation all over again.
Yep. All right, moving on from that, the site did just have a little bit of advice for players. Receive campaign rewards at the Visiphone, so the lobby can be a busy place with simple arts flying around, operatives using emotes, and of course chat bubbles popping up randomly. Don't get so fixated on moving from point A to point B that you don't see other symbols, such as the red exclamation mark that may hover over the Visiphone. That indicates that you...
It's hard to ignore that, since it appears all the time in over every single Visiphone in the lobbies.
Wait, which one, sorry?
Like those exclamation points over the Visiphones. It's kind of hard to ignore it, since it appears over every single Visiphone in the lobby.
Yeah.
So if you're like just standing in the shopping plaza, you'll see like, I don't know, 10 of those exclamation points just by turning the camera around.
Yeah, there are a lot of them in each floor of the lobby.
So it's kind of hard to ignore that.
But yeah, basically you have a campaign reward to claim, and since they have an expiration date, you'd better go get it. And then, about the
You don't want to miss out on getting your half-scape doll now, do you?
Yep. And then this is also, let's see, so once you're at the visit phone, then there are 3 different sections inside the receive campaign items that you can go to. Receive item account. This will allow you to receive a campaign item only once, with 1 account per campaign. Receive item character. This will allow you to receive a campaign item only once, with 1 character per campaign. And then receive item purchase exclusive item. This will allow you to receive any items that you may have purchased through the Microsoft Store.
Like if you bought the Regol set or Sonic set.
Yep.
You got it through there.
Yep. And again, these things can expire, so make sure you pick them up before you lose those rewards.
Yep. Like I said, you don't want to miss out on your half-scape doll now, do you?
And then up next, we also have new scratches. So let's take a look at what we have for the fun scratch.
Well, except for the fun scratch, yeah.
So let's see. Once again, new hairstyles. You've also got the Just Married cans, which is always kind of a fun one to see around on the Japanese side.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some X thrusters. Those will work good on a cast. You can get a rain cloud or a rainbow accessory.
Yep, the rain cloud because you're always sad.
And then there are also umbrellas.
Those look okay.
I'm wondering where the emote for pulling out, for pretending to pull out an umbrella is. And then we have some repeats from the last fun scratch as well. The full body tights in multiple colors. The metal heads, I'm not sure if that was in the last one or not. But then
I know actually, I think they were. Same with the tote bags.
Gotcha.
And then, what is the new rundown for this week? Oh yeah, because you just get a bunch of other stickers there. And then we got the sweet furnishing.
Yep, so if you wanted your room to look like a candy shop, there you go.
And the emote of this week is bouquet.
Yep, so that is a set of flowers that I think they get tossed. Is that right?
I think so, yeah.
All right, so that one is going to be around until June 2nd. And then we also have a new AC scratch as well here. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Oracle Celebrations. Again, it's the wedding theme.
Yep. Let's take a look at this here.
Maybe.
So we've got a tuxedo set here.
Very classy. Always like making my character look classy.
Yep, and then here we are heading down the aisle.
Da, 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 da.
This is an interesting dress set.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a wedding pose. The casts get a high-low set, and let me just stop this right here if I could. Go away. So, we look at this cast here, you look at this ring on their back, doesn't that look like a pull string toy?
Pulse ring?
So you
like
pull the
from,
thing and...
Tron?
Sorry, say it again?
Like the pulse ring thing from Tron?
No, like you pull the ring and it's a
pulse
string.
Oh.
That
so
seems like...
toy.
That seems like very memeable material there.
There's a snake in my boot.
Yeah. And let's move on
Honey,
here.
poison in the water hole.
So on standby number 6. So you're reading a book there, and then you got a Gothic set. Not sure what that has to do with weddings.
That is true.
And then
Umbrella dance. Yep.
I can't remember. Is this Singing in the Rain?
I know Singing in the Rain used an umbrella in one of the dances. Yeah, like in the song of the movie Singing in the Rain. Yeah.
Yep. And then a Wagging Tail.
Yeah. Of course. Because you gotta cater to the furries.
Yep. Alright. And then, of course, there's some other things, but here are the main costumes that we got this time. Let's see. Cast parts. And then we've got more accessories and such. So, hairstyles and new eye types.
I've never really cared about getting different eyes for my character because I rarely see my character's eyes.
Yeah, like, who would notice that that an eye has hearts in it?
Exactly. Although the Mask of Elegance looks pretty interesting, I could see someone using like using that as a start of making a Persona looking, like a Persona 5 looking character.
Agreed.
Speaking of which, Persona collab when? It happened to JP. It can happen here because Atlas is part of Sega. So do it.
It's gonna happen. It's just a question of basically it was what was it? Persona 3, I think, Dancing in the Night, and then Persona 5, the other dance one.
Yeah.
That was part of that collab.
Dancing in Starlight.
Yep. And by participating in both of those events, you got a Morgan costume.
Morgana. Yeah.
Yeah, I still have yet to play Persona 5, and I don't know if I'm ever going to find the time to dedicate to that with everything else I got to do with Phantasy Star.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and one of the other outfits from this AC scratch was a Teddy outfit. So I want the Teddy and Morgana outfits. That's the sole reason I want the Persona collab, is just for those two.
And you got a high-low circle for your cast if you want to do that. Flower crown.
Oh, and if you scroll down more, you got angel wings showing up here. And there's one single angel wing. Okay, there we go. Sephiroth cosplay when.
Yep.
Or Angeal. I guess if you want to do Angeal.
Whoever it was, but yeah, it's yeah. There you go, and all you Final Fantasy VII fans.
Yep.
Oops.
Make your character look like Angeal or Sephiroth. Perfect.
And then you've got a wedding bell here as well.
Yep, the wedding bell mag. Looks adorable.
And
Anyway, weapon family, you get the wedding cake.
Yep.
Don't know for what weapon, but and same with ale pure. Okay.
I think the wedding cake was for the partisan, actually.
Okay. And then there is a bonus reward accessory you can get. It's the Mr. Umbra doll. You just place on your head. Now no enemy can hit you because they don't want to make Mr. Umbra angry.
Yep. And then we also have...
That's only 10 scratches you need to do for that. That's different compared to the last ones, which were, I believe... No, most of them have been 10. Never mind.
Yep. And then we've got the main post that was made for the Windows 10 launch. Yes. You got your Endless Adventures, your new shopping plaza look. Zance, why don't you go ahead and talk about these commemorative rewards and special boosts here?
Alrighty then. So, these rewards that you get just from logging into the game, I believe both on Windows 10 and Xbox, as it says there, So participants will receive special rewards when logging into Phantasy Star Online 2 on both Windows 10 or Xbox. Okay. So, logging in for the first time, you've got 4 different weapon camos. The Knight Claw, which is for wired lances. The L&K Combat for twin machine guns, which, by the way, the L&K Combat was a PSO weapon that I remember having. And the Knight Claw I remember having in PSU. Windmill for the wand. And Celesta Razor for Gunblade, which nobody should be using Gunblade!
Yep. And I think it's actually Nay, rather than Nye.
Nye, okay. Or Nay, yeah. But yeah, no one should use Gunblade. Anyway, you also got a fresh aura unit, which, okay. But the big thing is the fresh sign, so EXP earned 30% when all the players' classes are below 29. So if you're a new player, you just got this, equip it. That extra experience points is going to be good. We also got EXP earned plus 50%, 10 of them, RDR 10, Meseta earned 50, you got 10 of them, and of course, half scape dolls.
Yep.
And what's currently going on until June 2nd is a special boost. All quests get EXP and rare drop rate boosted by 50%, and extreme quests get Meseta earned boosted by 50%.
Yep.
And of course, you got the talking about the seasonal event going on, the new urgent quest, new AC scratch, and if you didn't get the bundles because you were waiting for PC, well, you can still get the bundles now. You can still get the Sonic Collaboration event and the Ragol edition. So they're still available to buy. The Sonic one is $60. You get the Sonic suits, Male and F, Sonic hairs, the Sonic Tails emote, the Sonic Knuckles mask, 5 gold memories, 5 inventory expansion, premium pass, gold ticket, beauty salon pass, character storage expansion, 5 of 50. So you get 250 character storage and 50 inventory. EXP earned plus 150, 15 of them. Tri-boost 125, 10 of them. 500 grinders, 12 AC scratches, and then 99 great enhancement aids plus 50%.
Yep. And as we said before, if there was any collaboration that you were going to purchase, it's this one. This one is so
Sonic
much worth the money.
Yeah, the Sonic one is worth it completely. And JP's getting the Sonic stuff, but you have to spend $100 for that.
Yep.
Sorry, JP. And of course, the Ragol edition, you get 10 Ragol memories instead of 5. And then premium pass, gold ticket, and AC scratch.
Yep. So definitely, once again, just refreshing all the new players in terms of everything that's going on. And then this was the thing that they put up after the scheduled maintenance had completed. So, of course, we had the official launch of Phantasy Star Online 2 on Windows 10. You had the new in-game campaigns for the launch, plus the other campaigns we've already talked about here today. The new scratch tickets. They fixed issues with the Exodia head incorrectly listing the wrong cash gender. They had a report on a known issue. The name is not correct.
I don't know.
They gotta clarify that.
Report on known issue. The item name was not correct. What?
But which item?
What item exactly? No, it's not. They're actually talking about the item. It's the item.
Yep. Oh, hey, Future. Thanks for tuning in. Item's augment name is incorrect. Weapon boost.
Okay.
Players are unable to compete in weekly time attack ranking. So
that's
okay.
what I was talking about, where they're probably going to be going. They're probably not syncing it with what's currently on JP. So it'll go through what's available on NA. It'll get to Haruka-ten and then jump back to Nefarious Beginner.
That's the hope here. Yep.
Yep.
And then casinos, or rather coins earned in Blackniak did not count towards the tier mission earn a certain number of casino coins.
So they fixed that. Great.
Yep.
Other reset all skill passes distribution, new fresh find shop, new urgent quest and life stage event schedule, and the wedding event.
And this still isn't everything that they brought out. So I've got a list of other things I've observed here, which I'll go through now here. So we now have fuse techniques, or as they're known on say again?
Compound techs is what they're also.
Yep, so you got your Fomeglion and all those other fun ones, whereby basically, as you cast techniques throughout a mission, those are going to charge up, and then you just fire it out when you're ready to use it.
Yep. So there's Zandion, Fomeglion, and Baranceon.
Yep. And so those are basically a combination of two techniques being used at the same time.
Yep. And yeah, they're a charged up thing. So once they're charged up, hold the button in to charge it up, and then blast away with them.
Yep.
And then it's like 90 seconds for that cooldown time, and a plus on top of having to charge it up again.
Yep.
So, but yeah, they're powerful. Even if you're playing as a Tector, you want to use because you're probably going to be doing Tector Hunter. You still want to have those on your sub palette because they're really strong.
Yep. Yeah. And yeah, you want to have all three of them on the sub palette, not just one.
Yep. And the way you do that is with the newly introduced Ultimate Quest. Because there's a client orders that you need to get from Crystallinda, I think her name is?
Claris Clays.
Claris Clays. Okay, so yeah, there's 3 client orders you get from her. It involves using or defeating enemies with techniques in the ultimate areas.
Just a note, you may not see her in the lobby until you actually complete the episode 2 story up to the point where the episode 2 credits roll.
No. She's in my lobby and I haven't done any. I haven't done
okay.
All
right, she was a story character, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah. No, she'll appear whenever, she'll allow you to get those client orders once you hit level 70 and can actually do the ultimate quest, which is corruption investigation Nefarious and corruption investigation Lilliput.
Yep.
Those are the 2 that's available. And with that came new 13-star drops. With Nefarious, you got Nemesis, and with Lilliput, you got the Slave 13-star weapons. And in both of them, you can also get the Gix weapons.
Why are we getting episode 5 weapon drops?
Yeah, those are episode 5. So
this is crazy.
This is probably going to also lead to getting Austere.
Potentially, yeah.
Which, by the way, with the Austere 13-star drop weapons, that is what starts building off of making the 15-star weapons.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to be getting those 15-star weapons, because I don't think we're going to be getting the old type 13-star Austere.
Nope. Because all the old types are gone. That's what makes, the Elder Rifle and Twin Orochi so overpowered right now, compared to what they were on JP.
Yep. But aside from the Ultimate Quest, we also had some other new stuff introduced. We have a new time attack called Rush Practice Harkatan. So this is all contained within the same area. You just take out 100 enemies, finishing off with a Gal Griffin at the end, and you're done. This is the fastest.
You do not earn experience points, though.
Correct, but this is the fastest of all time attacks. So if you ever need to do that for a mission during the week, then that's going to be your best bet for that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the only time attack where you don't earn any experience points from doing it. So you just go through it as quickly as you can. Yep.
And then we also had a new extreme quest created, or rather available now, called it depends upon where you're looking. If you're looking at the title menu, it's called Heaven and Hell, or if you're looking at the quest counter, it's called Heaven and Earth. And
I'm just calling it Heaven and Hell because that's what it actually is.
Yep. So this is a 10-floor extreme quest. You get you do 5 floors per attempt at it. The first 5 floors send you up against a group of Meows and a group of Rappies, and then the second one is really a sort of an end of episode level difficulty. Specifically episode 3, actually. So it's a real test of your abilities at this point if you're looking for something that's really challenging. Because
it's a solo quest.
Yes, it is a solo quest, and it basically pits you against some of the hardest bosses that are in Episode 3. So that's going to include Dio Huno. That's going to include the phase where you're all separated during the Profound Darkness fight. It's going to include that character. And it's going to also include the Umbra Fundarge, as well as a fight against a bunch of the Council of Six as well.
So yeah, it's hard. It's really hard.
Yep. And then, as part of this extreme quest, we actually got a stealth collab out of this thing as well. That being Shining Force Cross Exlesia. And that was an arcade game over in Japan. And so that's probably why we got this as a stealth collab, because that was never brought over into the West. But there's a boss in the first 5 stages called the Night Gear that comes from that game. So it was interesting to see them pop up in there, because we weren't even certain if they were even going to show up to begin with. But I'm guessing because of how the game is coded, Sega Japan just wasn't able to remove it or something like that for the North American version.
Which honestly I'm fine with, because I like the Night Gear fight.
It's a fun one, because he'll like throw his shield around and such like that. He's kind of like Captain America in that way. And then there was one other thing that I noticed. We don't have this available in the game yet, but we're going to be getting it soon, I have to assume, since this is now showing up on the title list. Challenge mode.
Oh my god! I'm so excited for challenge mode.
Yep. Challenge mode is basically where your level gets set to level 1, and you're basically living off the land for the entire mission.
Mm-hmm.
So,
any items that you can get, you need to use. Basically, what you do is you pick up any drops that happen, you equip weapons that you're most comfortable with using, and then you also want to keep the photon arts of weapons that you're currently using. For any of the weapons or photon arts that you pick up that you're not going to be using during the break times in between stages, then you can trade them into a shop and then get the weapons or photon arts that you much more prefer.
It's generally recommended, once you have all your items or whatever you want to purchase from the shop, that you drop everything else so that other players can potentially get what they need if they didn't have enough items.
That as well. You also want to give assist the other people, because you can have up to 12 people playing this. So if you wanted if you wanted to get Alliance people together to do this, hey, there you go.
And of course, along with the challenge ship comes the potential of the shared ship as well.
It also means battleship, which would be great with better ping. Oh my god. I don't care about PvP that much anyway, but if we get the better ping and also get more opportunities to get star gems, that will be greatly appreciated.
Totally agree.
That's another thing. Star gems.
Yeah, you can get star gems from doing challenge mode each week.
Mm-hmm. So if we could get those methods of getting star gems that were already in JP onto NA now, that would be great.
So yeah, a lot of stuff is coming down the pipe. We also know that there are data miners going through the game. We know that the ARKS Dance Festival will be coming, although the Sachio concerts won't.
Sad.
Yeah. But yeah,
you were messing around with the files and you found Endless Story in English.
Yep. That's already in the game, so I'm expecting we're probably going to be seeing that probably around the time that Magatsu comes out in a couple of weeks.
And English lyrics for We Are Arks and Rare Drop Koi Koi.
Yep. It's
oh boy. And you even had something else that you found. The person who sings "We Are Arks" is one of the like. Oh wait, what is his main position in Sega?
He's one of the musicians for the game.
Yeah, he's the musician. Mitsuyoshi. Like he's the main musician for this game, and he's also the main guy that was the singer in all the songs in Daytona, USA. So
Daytona!
Or Rolling Stars. Yeah, that's that guy. And it says here, thanks for that incredible performance, Mitsuyoshi.
Yep. So he may actually be doing an English version of this.
Which would be great. I would love to hear his English again.
We'll have to see.
Yep.
So yeah, that's pretty much the list of updates for Phantasy Star Online 2. Now, we do have one last thing that we need to cover this week, and it is actually another release that happened this week, and this kind of caught me off surprise because I hadn't heard anything about this in many, many years. And this is the Phantasy Star Retranslation project. This is something that's been worked on for over a decade now. And I didn't play the original version of this because the script that they went with in this was kind of fan-fiction-y, but my understanding is now they've actually removed that from it. So this is supposed to be a more faithful translation at this point. And you're going to get access to several additional things on top of just the new translation. You get access to additional save slots. You get access to of course, getting the original translation of the character name. So instead of Odin, it's Tylon, and instead of Noah, it's Lutz or Rutsu. And then you also get access to an options menu now, which allows you to change what your walking speed is, what your experience and Meseta gained is, and even to change Elisa's hair, what the color it is. So yeah, this
it also adds in FM support because the Phantasy Star did have support on the Japanese version for the FM sound chip that was later added into the Mega Drive. I believe
Mark
it
III?
was with the Mark III. Or which one was it? I know there was like one of them where you had to have the FM thing in like it was a separate installation thing onto it, but then there was a later re-release that just had it built in.
Yeah, it was the Mark III that you had to install it onto.
Yeah, exactly. So with the Mega Drive, so it was with the not the Mega Drive, the Master System that they included it. But then for some reason, whenever they made the Western versions of the Master System, they didn't include the FM chip.
Yep.
And never released that FM sound thing either. So.
Yep. And this release comes courtesy of SMS Power. So just head over to their website, and the patch download is right here. You are going to need to supply your own ROM, of course. But this is a really nice release to see that this has come out.
And from what I saw, it does work on real hardware. So, including the FM selection, if you have a modified Master System with FM on it, then yeah, on an English Master System, you can do all that stuff. It's actually pretty cool.
Yep. So I might actually be looking at this for this weekend when I stream instead of PSO2, because I've already done 2 PSO streams this week, and I'm kind of out of like running the extreme quest and such at this point here. Because that's something else to note. You can only run that extreme quest 5 times per week. But if you had run it there that first day that it came out, there was enough time that you could have run it and gotten 10 runs out of it before it reset.
And yeah, with a retranslation of something like that, to make it like it's a retranslation of the original game to be more faithful to the original, like the original Japanese script. So it just gives an entirely different experience when playing games like that.
Definitely. Alright, so that pretty much brings me to the end of everything I had. Did you have anything else, Zance?
Not that I can think of. I was looking at different things going on involving Phantasy Star, and nothing major has come up. So.
All right, so then that brings us to the end of this episode. On behalf of Xance and myself, thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.
Johnny.